Hello again, my beautiful soul family. So, after the video that I just put up, actually yesterday, if it's still the day that I'm recording, whenever this comes up too, it did so much better than I had actually anticipated. So, it kind of motivated me to come back on and speak on something else because I mentioned a little bit of a topic in my last video about races and cultures and the labels that we have. And I was like, you know what, Tara, you should make a video on this because it's something that you're definitely interested in sharing your thoughts on. And clearly, you have an audience that is here, willing to receive and to be open and receptive to you. Therefore, you should take advantage of this and just be myself in the fullest and be able to express myself to you and those that are open to receive my transmission here with you. So as always, I want to start off with thanking you for being here. And I also want to just give you a genuine, energetic hug just to let you know that I am so grateful. I am so thankful. And it is such a beautiful gift to be able to have such an amazing platform on across the board. My Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, all of it. I'm just so grateful for it. I'm grateful for you all being here, and I'm grateful for life in general because I feel like sometimes we just have to give that gratitude and just show it, just show the universe that we are here presently experiencing this present with ourselves in conjunction with all that is. So yeah, as always, if you're not already following me on all of my social media platforms and you'd like to do so, you can follow me at Terrestrial Aura at all of these different things right here that are listed. So definitely make sure you do that. Also, if you're interested and you like this video, it engages you, it pulls you in, I inspire you to leave a comment. Also, if you would like this video, share this video if you can. Anything that you can do in support of this channel and my content and my creations is gratefully appreciated. And I just want to make sure that you know that I notice these things. I want to be able to engage as much as possible to be able to be in response to all of the many beautiful comments that I do get. So yeah, and just thank you. Just thank you, because that's the starting point. All right. Okay, so let's get started on the topic at hand, and that is the labels and separation of our human society. I feel like this is something that is so important. And with that being said, I just want to acknowledge the fact that we come into this world given a race. If that doesn't alarm you off top, then I don't even know. Maybe you shouldn't watch this video. I mean, you can still watch the video, but this is a problem to me. I feel like in this world, in this life, we are born in division, not only from each other, but also from ourselves. We are literally brought into this world and distinguished in a factor of separation and labeling to where we must be this way. We must embrace these aspects of this culture, which there's nothing wrong with. I'm so all about culture, but I am also very proactive on believing that we should learn other cultures and customs and be able to admire those and acknowledge them without it being a disrespect to the people of the natural origin in which it comes from. Anymore, we live in a world where people are literally told it is unethical to do something of another person's culture because it's a disgrace or it's a disrespect. When I feel personally that it is nothing but an honor and full given respect to have the acknowledgement of what you believe in, what you do, and have that recognized and seen, not to be devalued, but instead to be able to grow from those energies, expand from what you can see that other people are doing that's maybe working for them, whenever maybe you need something that's working for you. I'm such an advocate of bringing in multiple different things and just making it something completely new in its own. And I feel so deeply that this is the only way that our world can truly unite. Whenever we look at someone and see their differences, and we don't see them as someone outside of us, we don't see them as something that's different than us, but instead we see them for who they are, what they are, and what they bring to the table, what they offer, what their energy can provide as far as the human that they are being. But so many times we are told to separate ourselves because we can't be of another culture. We can't be of an understanding of another race, ethnicity. I've got to the point where I don't even want to say the word race because I feel like, why are we racing? Why are we here doing this life just to compete against each other? Whenever you come into a world that identifies you as a race, that is a clear indication that you are amongst others that you are supposed to be trying to get ahead of. And now this is something that I find so alarming in so many ways, but there's more. As someone with the ethnic origin of being considered African American, Black, whatever you want to call it, there's so many names and terminologies for these things now too, which is so interesting to me and it blows my mind. But me being identified in this group of categorization of my race, my ethnicity, I'm told that I must like certain things. I must be a certain way. There's an upstanding in which I must uphold, or a standing in which I must uphold, just like anyone else out there, a Hispanic person, a Caucasian person, an Asian person, whoever, whatever you may be. And these things are almost like, if you don't do this, you will be separated and canceled from your community. You will no longer have your Black card or whatever it may be. And I'm someone who grew up completely without thinking about races. I just never really gave much thought to it until maybe my younger times in fourth, fifth grade, right? Because I had moved to another location and I went to a school where I was one of the very only few Black people that exist there. And then it made me realize that there is a bit of a separation, there is a bit of a division, and I felt peculiar at first because I was like, I don't necessarily fit in with these people. But then because of that, it created this adaptability within myself to where I was like, oh, actually, I can fit in with anyone. I can go wherever and I can just be me, because being me is my race. I have no race to uphold as far as being in competition against anyone else. The only person I'm in competition with is myself, you know? So I was just like, this is all I need to do. Because of me having that openness and because of me not being forced to pursue any specific thing or act any certain way or anything like that, I was able to kind of expand myself in ways that I feel many of us don't. And that's an alarming thing because I feel like even with my expansion of myself and seeing the different diversities of culture and seeing that, everyone lives so differently, but yet we're still so much the same, that makes me feel like a blessing at this point, because I'm just like, I see so many people that have hate against each other. I see these things like Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, but don't all lives matter? And just all of these things, and it's just like, I question so often why we suppress ourselves, why we degrade ourselves, and why we separate ourselves. And if integration was supposed to be something that happened back in the day, where is it? Where did it go? It's almost as if it seems like over time, as time has progressed, people have found more comfort in their division and their separation from one another than they have in the idea of actually coming together and uniting. Do you realize that this world that we live in feeds off of our separation? Do you realize that everything that we create is a way to identify ourselves as something just to be different than someone else? And I want to touch on this topic without any disrespect to anyone, because I love all people. I love humans. I love humanity. And I just want to see humanity do better. So that's why I'm touching on this topic. So it's not to disrespect. It's not to dishonor. It's not to do anything of that nature. But think about the sexualities now. Think about how there's gay, there's bi, there's also people who are transitioning. It's not a sexuality, but an actual origin. There's so many different like aspects and different things that we are now, that we belong to, and we have flags for everything, and just all of the different countries in general. Everything is so divided up and separated. And now if we disrespect, or now we can disrespect someone by simply calling them out of their name, by saying she, him, her, anything like that. Do you think that this is helping society? I mean, maybe you do. And if you think that it is, I would love to hear your opinions. And I would love it if you would leave a comment below and share your thoughts, because I feel like this should be an open space for us all to free flow and communicate however we so choose. And there's not one opinion that is invalid compared to another, because all opinions are valid, because we are all meant to be heard. But the thing is, why do we feed off of this separation? What is the origin? What is the actual reason, the purpose, the logic behind it, other than living in a world where there is a social structure that is set in place to make us feel separated? Therefore, we never come together, because could you imagine the power if we did? Could you imagine the power if all people of all origins, of all nations, of all creations came together in realization that ultimately we are a piece of God, we are one aspect, we are one particle of a whole wave that's seismically moving through space-time momentum as time itself, living in the embodiment of our human being? And we do not have to fear each other. We do not have to separate each other. We do not have to look at someone's life and say, oh, that's just so different than mine. I could never agree with that. I could never be a part of that. I could never accept that. Because guess what? It's not for you to accept someone else's life. It's simply for you to respect it. So many people fail to realize that we are actually put here to be able to live our best lives. We're not meant to slave at a job. We're not meant to have to serve to monetary means and always be chasing something, or having the best material items, or keeping up with one another, competing with one another, anything of that nature. We simply came here to be human, and the more harmonious we are with nature and with each other and with ourselves, the more that this life that we live creates an inner peace that becomes our centerpiece, and it becomes the masterpiece and the mastery of ourselves. And if you can master peace within yourself, you have done the ultimate task, because you're not here to make everyone else happy. You're only here to master your peace, because you are your masterpiece. So if you can at least be decent to yourself, reflect that energy outwards, and be decent and kind to everyone that you meet as a reflection of yourself that maybe is much different than you, but instead of seeing their differences as something that makes them flawed, maybe instead just look at them and just embrace that energy. You don't have to take in everyone else's culture. You don't have to do any of that. But what would be nice is if we could just be kind to one another, if we could just live in harmonious tune with ourselves. Have you noticed how bad the weather's been? Do we really not think or see that there's a correlation between the matter of our minds that we have and then the physical matter in which is created by the people and by everything that is involved in this world? Because if we don't think that our harmony and our harmonic tune and our energy field that we're putting out in this world doesn't reflect something, then I think that maybe we're on a different plane of reality. Because everything is connected. Everything is connected. It's all connected. And if you see the connection, you will want to be a part of that highest reflection of the connection, and gratitude and thanks for being able to understand and acknowledge how important it is to be in tune and in sync with not only yourself, but the surroundings in which you surround yourself with. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of touch in on this topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that it's symbolic that we are considered races in this world? Do you find it intriguing at all that the division in this world creates such a separation? Do you think that it's the establishment, or do you think it's the people? Do you think it's the mind? Do you think that it was based at the establishment and then put into the minds of the people to be able to raise and breed their families this way? What are your thoughts? Tell me. I'd love to hear them. You can comment below if you'd like to. I would love to hear it. And again, as always, I ask that you like and comment on this video and follow me on my other platforms. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support to this channel. Thank you for all that you do. And then also, I do want to let you all know, just kind of as a reminder, that I do have a Patreon. If you would like to join me there, feel free to do so. I'm going to be changing it up a little bit because I want to work on this theory I have about astrological degrees in natal charts. And it's a little bit off topic from what I've been doing there, but I really want to do it. So if you're interested in anything like that, go follow me there and subscribe. It's as low as $1 a month. And it does offer support and gratitude and thanks for the content and things like that I put out. So no pressure, but if that's something you're interested in, the link is below. And also all of my platforms are right here if you'd like to follow me on those. And then lastly, my challenge. I have a challenge for you. I have a challenge for you to take a moment of your day to simply reach out to someone that's different than you. Whether it be holding the door for someone, whether it be a compliment. Everyone loves a compliment. Who doesn't love a compliment, right? Or whether it be just a smile, even sometimes something as simple as a smile, a hello, a how are you today? Something. Try some kind of unique, interesting food that's outside of the American culture if you're an American or wherever you're from. Do something a little bit out of the box and just give it a shot and see how it makes you feel. It may do nothing for you, and that's okay. But at least you can say that you did it, and at least you can say that you tried. And maybe the next time, as another challenge, maybe the next time someone is a little different than you and you don't really like the way that they look or you don't like the way that they're living their lives, maybe instead of feeling like you're entitled to judge that person, maybe instead you take a moment to ask yourself why you feel the need to judge. Because if we can take a moment to ask ourselves why we set ourselves in the behavior patterns that we do, then we can break those behavior patterns. But okay, so that's my challenge. Again, leave any comments if you feel compelled to below. Thank you as always for watching. I'm grateful for you. I am thankful for you. And I wish you the most incredible day and momentum of your now. I'll talk to you soon.